Hi, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Ron Williams, President and CEO founder of a company called Forever Green. And it's kind of fun right now because there's a lot happening in Forever Green, and why now? You know, what's happened to the industry that so much attention has come to our little fun company. And I'm sitting here with four very unique leaders, very unique style, very unique power, very unique group. And one of the things I was curious about is a little bit about them, their backgrounds, and what led them here to Forever Green. We have Keith O'Brien here on the far left. We have Chris Tenney here. We have Yo Fujikawa, and we have Cody McKinley. And these guys are fascinating to me because every few weeks it seems they bring a big group in and they just have a big party, a big training, and they send everybody off just rocking it. And so I thought it'd be perfect before they go home to their different homes or different cities that we would ask them a little bit about themselves and kind of their background and maybe even a little bit about their work style. And we'll start with you, Keith. You've been only, what, 2 months now?
Yeah, I think I started the end of March, 23rd.
End of March. This is your second fly-in here?
This is my second, yep, came in April.
And a Cancun trip.
And a Cancun trip,
Awesome.
yes.
Tell us
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Keith.
Well, you know, I started in the industry back as a teenager. I enrolled in Amway when I was 17. My dad signed my app, and
Nice.
you know, I think I didn't get it, but it just always it just always made sense. You know, I wasn't good at it, didn't know how to do it, but just the ability to leverage and compound efforts, and you know, I think you know, from a young kid, I knew I wasn't going to work for someone else, and so.
Nice.
You know, that was very short-lived, and then actually when I was 20, got started in a company out of college, and you know, answered an ad, which I thought it was a job, and went in, and everything was exciting, and more circles were being drawn, and percentages being up on the board, and my eyes glassed over, and I actually went full-time in the industry at 20 years old.
Wow. So 20, you went full-time. And a lot of people are always curious, you know, because they wonder if this industry can really work on that level. And I've been working with Keith a little bit on the side. And he definitely knows his game. He knows how to build a business in this industry. And Keith, what drew you to Forever Green? Curious.
Side note, I will say, you know, like Cody jumping in full time from day one, probably wouldn't recommend that strategy. But you know, coming back around, I think I was looking for something very specific this time. You know, and honestly, had I not found this company, I probably would have stepped out of the industry again for a while. And I was looking for something that was soulful. I was looking for something that really resonated with me, that brought together all of my passions. You know, I'm most passionate about people, personal development, and marketing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think in a lot of things I've done, you know, I've had 2 of the 3 of those, and here with Forever Green, I think. Unsurpassed product quality. I'm very aligned with the context you built this company out of, and it's a situation for me that there's no part of this this company or this business that I'm ever having to be apologetic for. You know, it's nothing that needs to be glassed over. Everything's good, but that it's all here. And when you marry that with a context of contribution and people first, I think it's just, I'm really proud to be
Awesome.
here.
And you know, when he first came and saw our company, I could tell just by his body language that even before he landed, he got what Forever Green was, which says a lot about Keith, because the industry's shifting. It's no longer chasing hype, what's your product, what's your comp plan. It's chasing quality, and it's chasing character. And thank goodness Keith O'Brien showed up in the Forever Green lobby. Thanks, Keith. Welcome home. Next is Chris Tenney, and Chris and his wife Taisha impressed me because not only are they building their business here, they're professionals at what they do. All 4 of these guys are pros, and that's why we have them sitting here this afternoon. But Chris and his wife kind of have a unique way of going about their business, and I won't steal your thunder, Chris, because I want you to share what that is. But tell us a little bit about your background. I know you have some corporate background and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, I've done everything from own a brokerage firm and selling stocks to a morning DJ up in the Northwest. Fortune Vice President of Sales for a couple of Fortune 100 companies. That last real job, I like to say, that I held 11 years ago. Pretty unemployable now after living the network marketing lifestyle.
Absolutely.
But 3 years ago, I met my wife, and we talked about what we wanted to do with our life, and kind of like getting started in network marketing. And it's natural to me, and it was natural to her. Let's sit down. And what's the perfect life? And it was really, you know, living a life of service and going out and being as big as we could be in our part of the world, wherever we are, you know, and it was simple as that. And that really grew to the point where I realized that, you know, you can have all the great intentions in the world, but if you don't have that, you know, that green ammunition to go out there and do what you want to do in the world, as my dream got bigger, I wanted to do more in the world. And so that's where I told her, you know, after trying some other things, I said, you know what, I'm going to go back into network marketing. I've been doing it for 20 years. I've broken records. I've, you know, been in networking times. But frankly, I didn't see anything out there that excited me. I'm vegan. You know, I like to eat organic or clean when I can. I'm fair trade because it's fair. You know, and I told her, I said, you know, this company Forever Green, and knowing you for several years, and we've done with Happy Children Foundation, everyone I've invited here has become so fired up about the vision, and we had people crying. We had at least a dozen people in tears yesterday who said that, you know, just for what this company is doing with the Happy Children Foundation, you know, you've raised your game just by showing up because you're feeding children, whether you know it or not. So 3-4 months ago, we jumped in and got started. And now we're traveling the country on a peace tour, and it's my Forever Green income and our Forever Green business that allows me to spend every day out on the road with the RV, visiting different communities and making videos showcasing people doing good.
Jealous. I'm jealous. I mean, look at these guys are professionals, and you know, they get to dress casual, they get to be professional, and they get to be who they are and live out their passions. And the industry is moving into an era right now where we're trying to find good character, good people, but also skilled professionals. And there's a great distinction between a good person and being a good person who's also skilled. And that's why I'm excited about this interview, because all 4 of these guys are lethal in their own right, in their own way even. And I think Yo Fujikawa, when we talk about way, he just does it his way. And he's just one of these guys that has the high-tech background, but as high touch also as it gets. Very prepared, very organized, very workable. These are qualities that the greatest leaders, you know, spend a lifetime trying to create in themselves. And so, Yo, tell us a little bit about your background. You've been full-time for quite some time, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was introduced to the industry at a very young age, and I remember the very first meeting, there was a lot of energy, loud music, a lot of people jumping around on tables, but I remember that presentation had a really deep impact because I just immediately understood the potential of residual income and creating a lifestyle of options and choices, and that really resonated with me. And I think one of the biggest things that helped me to develop as a person is I was introduced to books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it really changed my perspective. And coming out of high school, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And when, you know, a lot of friends were making career choices or just making the choice to not do nothing at all, you know, I told my parents I was going to be a professional network marketer. And I went on the road for a year, and I really burned that bridge, and I was dedicated to being successful in the industry. And I think through, you know, the process of self-development, you know, always, you know, trying to learn and develop myself, my marketing skills, my communication skills, it really helped me, you know, build an organization that I could connect with, that I could teach, that I could really share the knowledge and value that I had to give to help others to be successful. So I love what this industry can provide, and I love what us as leaders can give back to the industry as well.
Awesome. And they're doing it. I mean, it's one thing to talk the talk, it's another thing to walk the walk, and these guys are absolutely walking the walk. So if you're looking to be inspired, you're looking to be on a team, and you're looking to do some great things, obviously these guys have really got it down. And then finally we have Cody McKinley, who is our surfer skateboarder professional, and he's been with the company quite some time, and he's a part of bringing these guys here with him. And what I love about working with Cody is that Cody's one of these guys that you feel him always more than you hear him, and he just works really hard. And a good leader is always going to say, how many people did you share the message with today? And that's how Cody usually begins and ends his conversations. And so Cody, tell us a little bit about your history, or your history for Forever Green, or what led you even here.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm just a little background. I come from a very blue-collar background. For those that don't know me, and I barely finished high school, knew I wasn't going to college by 2nd grade, and started working at a very young age. I mean, I was the kid that grew up by age 8 and knew he needed to come up with half the money for his shoes if he wanted that certain pair of shoes. So with that being said, fortunately, like Keith, I found at a very young age I did not want to work for other people. About age 16, matter of fact.
It's hard to keep a job. Really hard.
It's so unemployable. No, so basically what's transpired, Ron, is I found the industry when I was like 21 years old, and you know, when I found it, I was high on sweat equity and low on cash, and always knew I wanted to work for myself, but not come from a background of entrepreneurs or a family that has money just to throw at you, or relationships of anyone actually that even makes money.
Yep.
That's really where I was at coming out of high school. And the industry kind of came knocking. I saw it, and for the first time in my life, I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. I saw something that didn't show any race, no creed, no color, religion, doesn't matter what age you are, as long as you have a willing to wake up every single day and become more than you were the day before. This is like the industry of, say, personal development with a compensation plan attached. And I dedicated, and you know, throughout my first 9 years in the industry, I got to tell you, what's your product, what's your comp plan, what's your product, what's your comp plan, what's your product, what's your comp plan,
It's
look
over.
at this rad suit, look at this $8,000 handkerchief. I just, you know, I had a real hard time, I had a really hard time relating to that personally, really hard time because of my background.
Right.
And it always seemed really kind of plasticky and weird and whatever, and so a lot of hair gel, slick back, stuff like that, and I kind of, you know, I went ahead and stuck to the industry, stuck to trying to do it my way, and quite frankly, I was like a horse with a broken leg, maybe two, when I found Forever Green, had the opportunity to meet you, and I was at a place in my life where I absolutely needed to stop looking in the mirror. You know, I absolutely needed to get outside of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And your message with Forever Green saying, whether it's a little, a lot, I mean, go spend an hour at the old folks' home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go dance with the elderly.
That's
Take your
right.
kids down there and play a card game. Go pick up some trash at your local river or your park.
Amen.
You know, but quit looking in the mirror. And that came at a time where I was feeling pretty sorry for myself. I wasn't having the success I wanted in a home-based business, and I was in debt, and I had F- credit and no bank account, and you know, most of this was self-induced, by the way.
But there's a lot of people watching who can relate to this.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, and so Forever Green touched me, and it inspired me, and it was amazing how much juice I got out of giving.
Yep.
And once that happened, it reset my cells to go out and be able to be a provider for other people, to go out there and really get my belief system back where it needs to be. And you know, I truly thank Forever Green for their message and who you are, Ron, because I don't think I'd be in the industry anymore had you guys not come along. And
I wouldn't either.
truthfully, so you know, and here we are, you know, and there's a lot of great people out there, but there's not so many great opportunities, and this is one of those special ones, and I like the fact that if you plug into Forever Green and you really get the message, then you're going to start attracting people who are ready for that shift in their life. And that's what I saw transpire this weekend. I saw a whole bunch of people that came together who gets it. They're living it, they're authentic, and they're coming from the heart. And you know, when you do that, you've often said, you know, I remember one time I was so nervous to speak when I first met you, and you're all, the quicker you get out of your head and get into your heart, you know, things are going to start happening.
Say anything from your heart, and it usually resonates.
Yeah,
Yes.
and when you're speaking from the truth, you never have to remember what you're going to say.
Yeah.
But Forever Green's brought out, I'd say, the best qualities in Cody McKinley, and I have a lot of growing to do. But what we do have here is a systematic approach, so people don't have to be experts. I kind of like to say to people, if you can get it, the Forever Green message, and share it with others, you could get it in cash.
Yeah.
You could get it in freedom.
And I have some open-ended questions for you guys, but before I ask them, you know, if you're watching this for the first time, they've talked a lot about the community stand, and Forever Green, it's very important to us that we give purpose to network marketing, not what's your product, what's your comp plan, not another one-hit wonder boy band, bright colors, pyrotechnics, they come and they go, they promise to get rich and get cured overnight, and that just isn't realistic. You don't get sick overnight, you don't get well overnight. So there's a reverence to the processes of nature. There's a reverence to how things work in this body, and there's a reverence of how we even work with each other. And so Forever Green has set up a company that says, look, the world is never going to change in one broad stroke. That's the old game. That's the guys who got up and said, we give 2% of the rainforest and everybody gets goosebumps. Those days are over. What 2% and what rainforest anyways? So now it's about your hands, it's about mine, it's about millions of small strokes. And that is the foundational message of Forever Green. And by the way, we're an organic health company, you know? We're an opportunity-driven company. All of this in the context of serving our communities to get outside of ourselves and move an industry from do-me, takers, to an industry of givers who create change every day. And so I'm curious about you guys. I mean, your group is unique. Share some of the styles you guys do. You guys, I was really blown away. People came out of your meeting the other day and they've been washed up pretty good. That was pretty impressive.
I mean, that was one of the things that struck me so much about this leadership group. I mean, looking at us, talking to us. I mean, we couldn't come at life in more different ways. I mean, we're all so different as human beings. Our styles are different, our personalities are different. But when you strip away that stuff, our core values are very much aligned. And then from a business side, like the fundamentals of how we build are all exactly the same. It's people first, connect to what's important for them, and tell the story as many times as you possibly can, and really build people. And that's I think it's so funny because it just goes to show you. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from or how you do it. If those core kind of things are consistent, then you can win here.
Awesome. So tell us now, are you guys more online motivated? Are you more belly to belly? Are you a little mix?
Yes.
Well, I think one of the unique things about our leadership team is, we've attracted some of the phenomenal best leaders in the industry that specialize in both online and offline marketing strategies. So we've set up a system that really anyone can connect with, anyone can pick their path, but we've set up, a blueprint. So someone does have, that roadmap to be able to follow. And nowadays, just to pick up on what Keith was saying, I think that the diversity among the group really connects with people. And it's about being yourself and not being something else or someone that you're not, but just being authentic, being who you are. That's what people connect with nowadays. And so I think that even though our group of leaders couldn't be more diverse, we're all like-minded, we all share similar values, and that's what really resonates with our team and the people that we work with.
I think the old guard used to be there'd be like the top earning man, guy in the team, top earning woman, and go be exactly like that person or go be exactly like that person. And like Cody was saying, it just you can't connect there. And then the new model is, okay, here's a system, be you inside of that system.
Nice. Well, I think the communities that are out there, the very definition of community is shared values or shared knowledge. So, not everybody's going to be an architect or have the same knowledge, but the values that I think that I've seen a lot of companies go around is money. Whereas, the commonality that we have and those who show up here is a spirit of giving and knowing that we're tapping into the law of giving and receiving, right? So, I thought about this the other night and I was thinking, man, this was pretty amazing. When we come together this home office and see these people, what is it? And I thought, maybe it's like the caboose of network marketing. I don't know if it sounds bad or good, but, if you're here for the first or second time, God bless you. I wish I'd been as smart as you. I spent 20 years. But, all the, 20 years I've been doing this, any one of these people, we get offered signing bonuses, things like that. But I call it the caboose because if we weren't here, we wouldn't be anywhere. I mean, this is really our last stop, because if Forever Green and the admiration and appreciation you see from the leadership here is that thank God for Forever Green, thank God for Ron Williams and deciding to form a company around kindness, health, and opportunity are very.
Yeah, I think what's fun too, just even from an opportunity standpoint, is for us to look at our books and realize at the end of each year the millions and millions of dollars we share in the wealth with our people for building the business. And not just here in North America, all over the world. We have some amazing demographical leaders in our company, guys. I mean, you guys have seen it. We're hitting every note on the chord. Usually a company attracts this demographic or that demographic. What's wholesome about this company is that if you have a pulse, this is where you belong. and it's wonderful, and that's what we're seeing in our company. So at a time when the industry is wanting to float downstream and sell out and cheapen everything, there's Forever Green, where we take a stand, we stand for principle, and we trust in the results of standing for that principle. So guys, I just want to say thank you for choosing this company. You make us better, unquestionably. A lot of corporate guys have never figured out their powers and their vulnerability. You help feed my family, and my family's very, very appreciative of that. And I just want to say thanks and welcome home. Okay?
Thank you.
Awesome.